When dealing with electrical installations, particularly concerning bus ducts and conduits, adhering to the National Electrical Code (NEC) is paramount for safety and compliance. The question at hand involves an existing 2500 amps, 277/480 volts bus duct with limited space to existing riser conduits, specifically 32 inches. Existing 200 amps bus duct switches are present from the original construction. The core issue is whether the limited space prohibits the installation of a new bus duct switch, considering required clearances, or if signage indicating that the bus duct switch should not be worked on while energized provides sufficient coverage. According to NEC 110.26, 8.1, there must be a minimum of 3 feet of clear working space in front of electrical equipment. This space is essential to allow for the safe operation and maintenance of the equipment. This code provision emphasizes the need for sufficient room for electricians and other qualified personnel to perform their tasks safely, reducing the risk of electrical accidents. In this scenario, the existing space of only 32 inches between the bus duct and the conduits does not meet the minimum clearance requirement of 3 feet, which equates to 36 inches. Therefore, without modifications, installing a new bus duct switch in this location would not be permissible under NEC regulations. It is crucial to understand why these clearance requirements exist. Electrical equipment, especially high-voltage systems like bus ducts, can pose significant hazards if not handled correctly. The clear working space provides a buffer zone to prevent accidental contact with live parts, allows for the use of insulated tools, and facilitates quick and safe egress in case of an emergency. The presence of obstructions, such as the riser conduits in this case, compromises the safety margin. So, what options are available to address this clearance issue? There are several potential solutions, each with its own set of considerations and challenges. Firstly, moving the conduits is one option. If feasible, relocating the existing riser conduits to increase the distance between them and the bus duct can create the necessary clearance. However, this may not always be practical, especially if the conduits are integrated into the building's structural framework. Careful assessment is needed to determine if relocation is possible without compromising the building's integrity or incurring excessive costs. Secondly, using a different type of bus duct switch that requires less clearance. Some manufacturers offer compact bus duct switches specifically designed for space-constrained environments. These switches may incorporate innovative designs or technologies that reduce their overall footprint, allowing them to be installed in areas where standard switches would not fit. It is essential to research and compare available options to identify a suitable switch that meets both the electrical requirements and the spatial limitations of the installation. Thirdly, implementing signage indicating that the bus duct switch should not be worked on while energized. While this option may seem like a simple solution, it is crucial to understand its limitations. Signage can help to reduce the risk of accidents by alerting personnel to the potential hazards of working on the equipment while it is energized. However, it does not eliminate the need for proper clearance. Working on energized equipment is inherently more dangerous than working on energized equipment, even with appropriate signage and safety precautions. Therefore, this option should only be considered as a last resort when other solutions are not feasible. Furthermore, relying solely on signage may not fully comply with NEC regulations. The code emphasizes the importance of creating a safe working environment through physical means, such as providing adequate clearance. Signage can supplement these measures but should not be seen as a substitute for them. In considering these options, it is essential to involve qualified electrical engineers and contractors who have experience with bus duct installations and NEC compliance. These professionals can assess the specific circumstances of the installation, evaluate the available options, and recommend the most appropriate solution. They can also ensure that the installation meets all applicable codes and standards. In addition to the NEC, other regulations and standards may also apply to the installation. For example, local building codes may have specific requirements for electrical installations in commercial or industrial buildings. It is crucial to be aware of and comply with all applicable regulations to avoid potential penalties or legal issues. Let's delve deeper into the technical aspects of each potential solution. Firstly, regarding moving the conduits, this involves several steps. A thorough assessment of the existing conduit routing must be conducted to determine the feasibility of relocation. This assessment should consider factors such as the length of the conduits, a number of bends, the presence of any obstructions, and the availability of space for the new routing. If relocation is deemed feasible, detailed plans must be developed to specify the new conduit routing, the materials required, and the installation procedures. The plan should also include measures to protect the existing conduits and other building systems during the relocation process. The relocation work should be performed by qualified electricians who have experience with conduit installation and wiring. They should follow all applicable safety precautions and use appropriate tools and equipment. Once the relocation is complete, the electrical connections must be tested to ensure that they are functioning correctly. Secondly, regarding using a different type of bus duct switch, this involves selecting a switch that meets the electrical requirements of the installation and has a compact design. This switch should be rated for the appropriate voltage and current levels and should have the necessary features for the application. The switch should also be compatible with the existing bus duct system. Several manufacturers offer compact bus duct switches designed for space-constrained environments. These switches may have features such as reduced dimensions, side-mounted operating mechanisms, or flexible connection options. When selecting a switch, it is essential to consider its ease of installation and maintenance. The switch should be designed for simple and straightforward installation and should have readily accessible components for maintenance and repair. Thirdly, regarding implementing signage, this involves creating and installing clear and conspicuous signs that warn personnel of the potential hazards of working on the bus duct switch while it is energized. The signs should be placed in prominent locations near the switch and should be easily visible from all angles. The sign should use clear and concise language and should comply with applicable safety standards. The sign should also include a warning symbol, such as a lightning bolt, to indicate the presence of electrical hazards. In addition to signage, it is also essential to implement other safety precautions when working on energized equipment. These precautions may include using insulated tools, wearing personal protective equipment, and following lockout/tagout procedures. Lockout/tagout procedures involved energizing the equipment and placing a lock and tag on the disconnecting device to prevent accidental re-energization. These procedures are essential for preventing electrical accidents and should be followed whenever possible. To summarize, when faced with limited clearance around a bus duct, it is crucial to prioritize safety and compliance with NEC regulations. The minimum clearance requirement of 3 feet in front of electrical equipment is designed to provide a safe working environment for electricians and other qualified personnel. If the existing clearance does not meet this requirement, it is necessary to explore potential solutions to increase the clearance. These solutions may include moving the conduits, using a different type of bus duct switch, or implementing signage. The selection of the most appropriate solution will depend on the specific circumstances of the installation and should be made in consultation with qualified electrical engineers and contractors. Regardless of the solution chosen, it is essential to follow all applicable safety precautions and comply with all applicable regulations to minimize the risk of electrical accidents. Remember that working on electrical equipment, especially high-voltage systems like bus ducts, can be dangerous. Always prioritize safety and seek the assistance of qualified professionals when necessary. Now let's consider some additional factors that may influence the decision-making process. One factor is the age and condition of the existing bus duct system. If the system is old or in poor condition, it may be more cost-effective to replace it with a new system that meets current code requirements and has a more compact design. Another factor is the potential for future expansion or modifications to the electrical system. If there is a possibility that the system will need to be expanded or modified in the future, it is essential to consider this when selecting a solution for the clearance issue. A solution that provides flexibility for future modifications may be more beneficial in the long run. Another consideration is the impact of the solution on the overall aesthetics of the building. In some cases, it may be necessary to balance the need for safety and compliance with the desire to maintain the aesthetic appearance of the building. For example, relocating conduits may require cutting into walls or ceilings, which could detract from the building's appearance. In such cases, it may be necessary to explore alternative solutions that have a less noticeable impact on the building's aesthetics. Furthermore, it's important to document all decisions and actions taken to address the clearance issue. This documentation should include detailed plans, specifications, and calculations, as well as records of any inspections or tests performed. The documentation should be kept on file for future reference and should be made available to regulatory authorities upon request. Proper documentation is essential for demonstrating compliance with applicable codes and standards and for providing a clear record of the decisions that were made. In conclusion, addressing limited clearance around a bus duct requires a careful and systematic approach. It is crucial to understand the applicable code requirements, evaluate the available options, and select the most appropriate solution for the specific circumstances. By prioritizing safety, compliance, and proper documentation, it is possible to ensure that the electrical system is installed and maintained in a safe and reliable manner. Consider these points carefully when evaluating your specific scenario.